I'm sure. Die, insect!
What's up, guys? Leon Levi here. And let me tell you guys, if there's one thing I've learned from gaming over the years, it's that ninja games are next level insane. From the pixelated shadows of 50-year-old classics to the hyper-fast action of 2026 releases, these titles have always pushed your reflexes and patience to the absolute limit. I've spent countless hours trying to not get sliced, diced, or exploded. And today, I'm taking you through 11 absolutely brutal ninja games that made me feel thrilled, smash buttons way too hard, and still come back for more. Let's get started and move to our first title of the list. And I need you guys to drop down your favorite ninja game of all time in the comments below. Ninja Gaiden. Let me tell you about the brutal beast that is Ninja Gaiden on the NES. This game was my childhood nightmare and thrill all rolled into one. You play as Ryu Hayabusa, dashing through levels that feel like they were designed by someone who wanted to test your sanity, not just your reflexes. It's a side-scrolling action platformer where one hit can spell your doom, and every enemy feels like it's out to make you rage quit. Yet you keep coming back because that rush when you finally beat a stage is addictive. The Dragon Sword and Shurikens aren't just weapons, they're your lifeline through relentless bosses and pixel-perfect jumps. Honestly, this was the first time a game made me both scream at my TV and bump my fist in the air in triumph. That's pure ninja brutality right there. Shadow of the Ninja. The cool thing about Shadow of the Ninja is that it feels like you and a friend are stepping into this grim, future New York that's completely gone to hell. You get to choose between Hayate and Kaede, and right away the game throws you into tight, brutal stages full of soldiers, robots, and nasty platforming setups. What I love is how mobile you are, hanging from ledges, hand over hand across ceilings, and flipping between platforms like a real side-scrolling assassin. You've got katanas, kusarigama, shurikens, grenades. Every pickup feels like it matters when enemies are chewing through your health. And that screen-clearing lightning move is literally tempting, but it eats half your life bar. So every time you trigger it, it feels like a desperate, clutch all or nothing moment instead of a cheap panic button. Shinobi. Shinobi always feels to me like stepping into an 80s arcade cabinet that's actively trying to mug you. You're Joe Musashi, a calm, deadly ninja walking through streets, docks, ships, and ninja mansions, rescuing hostages while everything on screen wants you dead. The game keeps you on your toes with multi-layered stages. You're jumping between foreground and background levels, tossing shuriken, slashing up close, and timing your jump so you don't get deleted by gunfire. And when the pressure really ramps up, dropping that ninjutsu screen nuke feels insanely satisfying, like you just flexed your years of training. Boss fights hit hard, and the arcade pacing is relentless. Clear a wave, move forward, no time to breathe. It's brutal in that classic coin op where every mistake feels expensive, but every clean run through a mission makes you feel like a real master ninja. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. If the first Shinobi was a lesson in arcade punishment, Shinobi 3 is that moment where the series just says, okay, now let's see how stylish you can really be. Controlling Joe Musashi here feels incredibly smooth. You're wall jumping, dashing in for this nasty sword slash, tossing shuriken, and popping ninjutsu like a ninja superhero. Then the game switches it up and throws you on horseback or a surfboard in auto-scrolling stages, and suddenly, you're slicing enemies at high speed like it's an action movie. The level design constantly pushes you forward, encouraging aggressive play instead of timid inching. What makes it brutal isn't just the damage numbers, it's how the game demands precision at full speed. When you finally start reading enemy patterns and chaining moves without breaking rhythm, it stops feeling like a platformer and starts feeling like a full-on ninja power dream. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro is the kind of game that doesn't care how good you think you are. It will break you, then ask you to get back up with better timing. Playing as the one-armed shinobi, every fight feels like a duel where posture matters more than health. You're not just chipping HP, you're clashing blades, deflecting at the last second, and waiting for that perfect moment to land a death blow. Bosses and mini-bosses punish panic mashing instantly, so you're forced to really listen to audio cues, read animations, and commit patterns to muscle memory. And the wild part is, once it clicks, those same fights that felt impossible suddenly become these beautiful, intense dances. People still argue online about Sekiro's difficulty and whether it should have had an easy mode, which tells you everything. You don't just play this game, you survive it, and that survival becomes a badge of honor. Nioh. Nioh hits different because it mixes that Souls-like brutality with samurai and yokai horror in a way that constantly keeps you on edge. Playing as William, you're juggling stances, key management, and weapon types while monstrous yokai are trying to crush you in 2 hits. The high, mid, and low stances aren't just flavor. Getting comfortable swapping between them mid-fight is the difference between styling on a demon and getting flattened. Some yokai have literal weak points, like horns you can target to drain all their ki and lining up that precise hit to stagger them, then exploding with a full combo feels insanely satisfying. On top of that, every new region, boss, and submission throws some fresh pain at you. It's the kind of game where you walk into a room, see a new enemy, and immediately feel your heart rate spike in the best way possible. Onimusha, Warlords for PS2. Onimusha Warlords always feels to me like someone mashed together classic survival horror, pacing with intense samurai combat, and then sprinkled in demonic ninjas for good measure. You're moving through these tight, atmospheric locations at Samanosuke, constantly weighing whether to press forward or play it safe. The combat looks simple at first: slash, block, reposition, but then you start learning about Isen, that perfectly timed counter that instantly kills an enemy if you hit right as their attack lands. Suddenly, every encounter becomes this nerve-wracking game of chicken. Do you swing early and risk getting hit, or hold your nerve and go for the perfect parry? Chaining multiple Isen kills feels godlike and showers you in souls to power up, but the timing is strict and unforgiving. That mix of precise, lethal swordplay and creepy demonic vibes is what makes Onimusha feel brutally unique, even today. Strider. This game drops into this wild, sci-fi world and tells you to keep up. Controlling Hiryu feels like piloting a hyper-agile ninja weapon. You're slicing with that Cypher plasma blade, doing cartwheel jumps, sliding under enemies, and even climbing walls and ceilings using your hook. The stages are chaotic, bouncing from Soviet bases to jungles to a freaking space fortress, and the game expects you to stay aggressive or get overwhelmed. Because your movement is so free, the real brutality isn't just enemies hitting hard. It's the game daring you to go faster, jump farther, and take bigger risks. You're constantly chaining slides, jumps, and attacks, and when you get into a groove, it feels like you're speedrunning an anime opening. But miss a jump, mistime a slide, and Strider reminds you instantly that it's still very much an arcade predator.
Lord Goda expects much of you. The enemy will be skillful and ruthless. You must be prepared physically and spiritually. You must focus.
Tenchu, Stealth Assassins. Tenchu is that game that taught me being a ninja isn't about running and swinging. It's about making sure nobody even knew you were there. Playing as Rikimaru or Ayame, every mission drops you into rooftops, courtyards, and shadowy paths where one wrong move can blow everything up. The key meter constantly tells you how close enemies are, and that little shift to red when you're about to be spotted hits harder than a jump scare. Pulling off a clean stealth kill, watching that quick, brutal animation, and knowing no one heard a thing? That's the good stuff. But when you get seen, suddenly you're scrambling, fighting loudly, and trying to disappear again while guards shout and search. It's brutal. Not because enemies are bullet sponges, but because the game punishes impatience and rewards that cold, surgical ninja mindset.
As the other clans strayed and disbanded, a merchant led us to a flower whose petals burned with toxin. Put the toxins in your skin, and you will gain great and strange powers.
Mark of the Ninja. Mark of the Ninja feels like someone finally figured out how to make a pure stealth ninja game work perfectly in 2D. You're always thinking about light, shadow, and sound, hugging darkness to stay invisible, watching guard vision cones, and planning routes like you're solving a deadly puzzle. What hooks me now is how clear the game is about feedback. If you make noise, enemies investigate. If you step into the light, you know you're exposed. Silent assassinations, hiding bodies, using tools to distract or terrify guards, it all flows into this satisfying rhythm where every room becomes a sandbox for creative kills. And the best part is, the game never forgets you're supposed to be a ghost. Getting through a level flawlessly, unseen and unstoppable, feels more brutal than any loud hack and slash because the enemies never even got a chance to scream.
No matter how many times I kill him, he always returns. Only a master ninja of the Raven clan can send the Dark Dragon to his true grave.
Ninja Gaiden 4. After years of silence, Ninja Gaiden 4 arrived and blew my expectations out of the water. This isn't just another sequel. It's the franchise kicking down the door with futuristic neon, a new protagonist, Yakumo, and combat that feels sharper than ever. The mix of cybernetic foes, brutal combos, and intense boss choreography delivered non-stop adrenaline, and seeing old fans geek out online made it even more thrilling. Being able to jump into brutal encounters via Game Pass, or owning it outright, means this legacy isn't just nostalgia. It's a living, breathing evolution of what makes Ninja Gaiden wicked good. This launch finally gives fans that long-awaited dose of high-octane ninja action in a world that feels fresh and chaotic. And that's all on our list of 11 absolutely brutal ninja games. We've seen pixel-perfect precision, stealth takedowns that make your heart race, and combat so intense it feels like a workout for your reflexes. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know in the comments which one of your favorites I missed so that I can bring them up in upcoming videos.